Are we live? We are live. Well, folks, hey, welcome to the show. I am so thrilled. Oh my goodness, it's not March yet, but hey, at the Hounds of Business community right now, oh, it is. It's the kickoff party, folks. So, real quick, I just want to, we have an action packed show, some amazing stuff coming. So, it's not a fluff show, not that it ever is, but this is definitely not a fluff show, folks. This is a showcase of real leadership through kindness. And before Women's Month officially begins, we're setting the tone here, and not just with sentiment, but with substance. That's how we do it. So, we've got representation tonight from the United States, Australia, and Nigeria. All right. Different cultures, different experience, but one shared value. And that's what's important. So, oh, look at me. I've my own LinkedIn popped up. So I know we're live now. So the ambassador program for kindness worldwide, these are leaders who model selfless service and actively champion kindness in their communities, not by just words, but with actions every single day. And these are individuals who just don't talk about impact, they live it. So yeah, now you know why they're here. So we're going to have some really meaningful discussions. We're going to get to know these amazing, impactful ladies. And in true Hounds fashion, have chat, ask questions. We'll do our best to put on the screen. We have the one and only April Wyatt back there, and she is making it happen. And thank you so much for helping us run this show, everything you do to make it possible in Women's Month. And I'm going to show this real quick before we get to the big dog, Michael, because I want everybody to understand, if you haven't heard the kindness story yet, you're in for a treat. And then you get to meet the ladies that are pushing this movement to the next level. So let's go. Let's see. There it is. I told her I'd handle this, and there you go. So real quick, this is all leading, all these shows from this point on, every Wednesday, 6 p.m., or I'm sorry, 7 p.m. Eastern time, 6 Central, Hounds of Business Live. We'll be doing a special panel, and you can go to the Hounds of Business on YouTube. I'll have it all launched out by Friday. And come and network with folks. But it's all leading to March 26th. That's 2 to 4 p.m. U.S. Eastern time, New York City time. And that is the Zoom celebration for Women's Month. There's going to be giveaways, networking. It's going to be a blast, folks. And again, the right room, right? You got the right people, the like-minded folks. They come together. Business gets done organically. That's our way. So this is your invitation, folks. Welcome. I'm glad you made it. And real quick, I want to give a shout out to the lady behind the scenes. I don't know, she waves a wand, she said, I'm having a retreat, and there's like half the people already signed up. But we have a few more spots for October. So anyone that wants to participate, learn more, go to livingwithintention.co. That's April Wyatt. She's back there. We'll pop her up. We'll embarrass her at the end of the show. Don't worry. But yeah, she is phenomenal, and there is so much feedback, especially busy professional women juggling all kind of things and families and you name it, business. This is an experience that people don't stop talking about. So I wanted to give her a shout out and say thank you to April. And last but not least, before we get rocking, this guy here, yeah, Curtis. People have success and they hit the plateau and then they say, is this it? They just don't feel it in their heart. And this guy has been a good guide to me, many others. He's a Hollywood stuntman turned soul guide. So thank you for bringing this episode of the Hounds, the very special kickoff episode, to the audience. Curtis, you're a good man. You practice what you preach, and love what you're about, brother. Appreciate you. Love having you in the pack. All right, Michael. So if you would, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We'll go ahead and run the intro. I'll go ahead and transition you. Give us the highlights of the Kindness Worldwide story. Then we're going to bring up the one and only co-host, this amazing lady, Angelique, and we're going to get this party started with this amazing panel. How's that sound?
That's excellent, Mike.
There you go. And thank you all. I think I've got the flu. I've been fighting stuff for my kids. This is what happens in the Ohio Valley. So thank you for the prayers and thoughts. I really appreciate the encouragement, y'all. So you want to run the intro?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I am so delighted to have this session on the Hounds of Business. And Mike, thank you, because what you said in the intro is so true. Folks leading with kindness. It can be a thankless approach. It is one that is often not as meaningful if it's not intentional. And I think what you're going to see with the guests that we've lined up today that are all Kindness Worldwide ambassadors from around the globe, that intention is really what they bring, not only to presenting with kindness, but also the way they lift up their own community, their own, as I call it, ecosystem. And, I've had the great pleasure of meeting a couple of the guests today, but not all of them. some virtually, some in person. I will say until a couple of weeks ago, I had not met you in person, and I was delighted to have that opportunity at the PodFest event down in Orlando, Florida. And we were there to basically tell the story of kindness worldwide. And I know many of your hounds have already heard it, but think a random act of kindness from a young woman in the hometown of Kevin Smith, the founder of Kindness Worldwide. He lost his wallet at the grocery store doing a honeydew list. And Brooke Dubs went the extra mile for Kevin and brought his wallet to his front door, and it blew his mind. At the time where Kevin was like, trying to find confidence in humanity and how we can kind of all, find a better way, this young woman took the time out of her day and returned his wallet before he got too, frustrated with the fact that he did that. And it kind of led to a story behind the story of he didn't ask her full name, couldn't, figure out who she was, and did an extensive search to find Brooke Dubs and thank her properly for that act of kindness. And it really unfolded a journey that Kevin is still on. I'm happy to join him in it and kind of bring that ecosystem model to him. But what you're going to find out to your audience is that, Angelique, Tracy Ann, Robin, Lady Jane, and Kathleen, they represent what this movement of kindness worldwide is really all about. Kevin wanted it to be something that this act of kindness that touched him personally in his own community. There are people out there doing this every day in anyone's community. You just got to lift them up. You got to find them. You got to see them. You got to celebrate them. And it takes intention and a little bit of effort to do it. And I'd like to say everybody who's a guest here that you and Angelique are going to interview are bringing this to their community with intention. So, I know that's a long intro, but I am just delighted to kind of, recede back into the wall here and absorb from these great leaders in how they lead with kindness through intention.
Well said, my friend. And oh, by the way, most of the viewers, at least for the Hounds of Business, most of our audience knows Kevin. They know the mission. And I'll try to dig it out here when Angelique gets on here and starts talking. But he almost lost his wallet again, y'all, at PodFest. I got a flip book in a video and I said, Kevin, did you do that on purpose? No, that was an accident. I said, listen, don't be losing nothing else. Now we have to do the happiness movement. We could barely keep up with kindness. So yeah. So now we're gonna get Kevin to get a chain for the wallet. Amazon. I'm gonna send him one. All right. So I appreciate you. Let's go ahead and run the intro video and let's get this party started. Well said, brother.
Sounds good, Michael.
Are you looking to grow your network and your net worth with other high-level, heart-centered professionals? Then grab a seat and your favorite beverage and join Mike Asherbranner, the Redneck Connector. It's time for the Hounds of Business Community Happy Hour.
All right. Well, I'm not going to waste any time. No time to waste tonight. So here it is. We're going to bring up the one and only, and you know me and last names, buddy. But here she is. We're going to bring her to the stage. Angelique, here's my soundboard. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you? Thank you guys for having me.
I've already forgot I don't feel well because this is so exciting. Look at the comments. And folks in the comments, again, feel free. We don't pitch slap with a P, right? It goes without saying. But hey, mix, mingle, get to know each other, ask questions, share your experience, get the most out of this. It's 7 p.m. for most people. I know you're probably cooking dinner and doing all kind of stuff. So we're just glad you're here. So Angelique, just give us a little bit about you. And this is fun because not everybody on the show today knows each other and we're real timing it. So this is not scripted. So let the folks know who you are and what you do.
Okay. Well, I am a writer, director, filmmaker. I have a production company, Star Films, and I have been doing that for 2 decades plus. I write more frequently now than I do filmmaking, and I have a podcast, and I'm constantly talking. But my whole thing is to inspire, inform, and entertain, and to elevate consciousness through kindness, through compassion, empathy, through storytelling, and to help people align their story with their highest potential.
And you are all heart and brilliance. It took me about 5 seconds to realize that. That's the combo, right? That's the whole panel. And then the comments is full of birds of a feather. So let me ask you that. I'll get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
What does it mean to be a kindness worldwide ambassador in real life, right? Not just title.
Okay, no, that's a great question. So if we think about kindness and what kindness actually means, it means the textbook definition is friendly, generous, considerate. And if you think about that, why wouldn't we want to live our lives being friendly, generous, and considerate of other people, right? We talk about the golden rule, and the golden rule is found in every religious text ever. So even, depending on, what culture you are, you've heard of this before: do unto others as you would want done unto you. And I think if, for someone like me, I know how I would want to be treated. And I want to be treated with generosity, respect, and consideration. And so therefore, I project that outward the best that I can. Not to say that I don't have my moments, because I'm human and I do have my moments, as a general rule for myself. And I keep myself in check, constantly.
I love that. I have a lot of moments, and that's it. Again, I have good qualities, but there's a lot of things I'm not the best at, and that's the best part about having community. I give a lot of grace because I need a lot of grace.
Yeah.
When you're around people who just naturally champion kindness, it makes it a lot easier. I'm like, listen, I only do business with people that are kind. I mean, it's like I'm getting too old.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. When you just show up to support and get behind something common, organically, opportunities, collaborations, guest spots, podcast guesting, right? These things come naturally because you're just aligned with values, and then you're, curious. And
Yes.
it's just such a contrast to just doing only DMs and only performative things. We can drop our guard, be ourselves, have good conversations, and find ways to work together naturally. It's like me and Kevin and Michael. But what did we do at PodFest, Michael? We didn't talk about it ourselves, did we?
Nope.
No, we talked about each other. It was real. We were excited, and people said, tell me more. And that's what, we're not bragging. We're just saying there's a lot of folks who just don't know that they can do that, and they want to do that. And so This show is kind of a segue and almost permission. So you got a question for Angelique?
I have a comment, and Angelique doesn't know I'm going to say this, but I have met Angelique in person twice, and in Manhattan when Kevin and I were on one of our little road shows up there, 2 of them, and I will say that with all the accolades and awards and the success that Angelique has navigated for herself and others, she took time to come down from Greenwich, Connecticut to meet with us in Manhattan twice, and I will say I can't wait to have deeper conversations than we had, but just someone who brings a spiritual but mystic perspective to how she has navigated her own opportunity, and just was willing to share some learnings that Kevin and I were trying to figure out, like, how do we position the brand of kindness worldwide on a bigger stage when it's, tied to a personal story. And Angelique had just monumental perspective for us at that time. And I just want to say, Angelique, for you personally to take that time. When I say intention, like, you didn't have to come down. You could have said, oh, let's do a Zoom call, next week when you're back in Pennsylvania and Maryland. But, just thank you for clocking in on us at a point where we were a national, startup nonprofit that wasn't quite navigating our opportunity in the movement the way we felt we could.
No, well, thank you. I mean, you guys have given me this fabulous opportunity to take the kindness, and usually my kindness is running around jumping people on the street and doing these random, like, oh, your hair's so beautiful. Oh my God, I love your this, I scare the hell out of people. But you guys were so kind. And it's funny that we say that, and generous to me. I had the blast with you both times. It was so much fun. And the minute I saw you guys, I said, no, these are going to be my friends, and I absolutely adore the both of you. I think what you're doing in the world is monumental in a way that I don't even think we know yet. It's so much bigger than I think we can see, and it's unfolding every day. I mean, look where we are right now. It's pretty incredible. And so thank you for doing this and spearheading it and including me in it.
And I can't wait for, Mike, I'm sure is going to suss out all the great things that you're doing with, a new book coming out, another film, if I understand, and then the call cut. Kevin asked me to specifically, lift you up for how you approach the call cut method. So maybe you could share a little bit of that perspective with the audience as well.
Oh, of course. I love that. So the call cut method is simply a tool that helps you realign your energy with your highest potential. For example, you're in a place and you're having a meltdown because there's this interaction that isn't necessarily positive, and instead of engaging, you call cut, just like in a movie, stop the scene, take a breath, rewrite a story and narrative in your head and say, okay, am I going to give my energy to this, or I'm going to stay aligned? Because as Abraham Hicks always said, it's 17 seconds to drop into a lower frequency. Why would you want to drop your 17 seconds and give your frequency away? So we stay high vibing when we can call cut on ourselves, and we consistently do it, so much so that you will find that eventually you will just gear toward making choices that are more positive for you and aligning you with that higher energy all the time. Like, am I going to engage? Am I going to answer that this way? Am I going to get angry about that? And, the call cut method goes much deeper, like where we do the shadow work and we go, deeper and deeper to try to figure out where these things come from and how we can rewrite a more powerful story instead of the one that we have been running on a loop for years.
Oh my goodness, that's so spot on. How many times a day are we in a moment where we need our energy and our frequency to be, calibrated properly? So thank you for that.
Yes, of course. And thank you guys for calling it out. I appreciate that.
Well, before we hand over the reins and let you co-host with these amazing ladies across the globe, I have one quick question for you. Sure. And Kevin and I, and even Michael talked about this. Sometimes kindness gets misunderstood. And you are very kind, but you're also very strong. The two go together. So where do people, in your experience, where do people get kindness confused with weakness sometimes?
Oh, that is a fabulous question. And I'm so happy that you asked that. Okay. So people confuse kindness with being nice. And being nice and being kind are slightly different, because nice has a different intention. Sometimes nice is performative to get something from someone. Nice can be a reaction because we are trying to be liked or accepted. And kind is, again, friendly, generous, and considerate. It's not necessarily trying to take something, and pull it out. Like, we're not trying to get something from someone else. There's no expectation with kindness. And when we do it because it feels good for us, and we know that it has a ripple effect for others. However, some people, especially when they're a little more ego-led and haven't really done the shadow work, they assume that because you're kind, they're going to mow you over. With me, they find out very quickly that that does not happen. And I have some very solid boundaries. It may take me a while. I may keep people past their expiration date, but eventually I will kick them out of my space and out of my energy, because your energy, and if I could say this to the hounds and your audience, your energy is your most precious commodity, and you've got to protect it with everything that you've got. And you could be kind, and you should be kind, but always maintain your boundaries, and always be sure that your soul is aligned with the people and the experiences that are in front of you. My
goodness. Okay. Just do me a favor.
Yeah.
Don't hijack my show every week.
No.
I can hear it now. Hey, let that lady do it. You are phenomenal. And speaking of, I really thank you, because you speak from the heart. And by the way, I picked it up. I said, don't cross this lady. don't mistake her kindness for weakness. I picked that up quick. Not that I would, but yeah, I'm glad everybody knows now. Yeah. So, folks, we're going to bring them up. These women are not just ambassadors, again, in title. They do this in action daily. So let's expand this globally. Let's bring them on up, April. Who we got? We got Tracy Ann Palmer, Kindness Worldwide Ambassador in Texas. Kathleen Ferris from California. Robin Simpson, Queensland. So New Zealand, but in Australia. We have Lady Jane in Nigeria. And I know I missed somebody, because what did I do? Did I miss him? Nope. We had Angelique already introduced.
Oh, you're good.
And Michael Binko from his man cave. So we are covered. All right. So welcome to the show. Ladies, I'm going to hand it over to Angelique. We'll be here to support. But go ahead around the room and let us know where you're coming from. And, what do you do? Just give us the little snapshot. Go ahead. We'll start with you, Lady Jane, because it is after 1 a.m. You are an absolute warrior.
Yeah.
So you start us off, my friend.
Okay, thank you so much. Like you just said, I'm Jane Carlo Ndukwe from Nigeria, and I'm also the chief executive of Etiquette and Social Values Organization, and the director of Student Mentorship and Parents Relations, Godfrey Okoye University. Now, with the Etiquette and Social Values Organization, we champion civility, conscience-based leadership, and humane conduct. And the other thing that I do, which is mentorship for students and relating with parents. So that's who I am. And it's let's say 1:21 a.m. in Nigeria right now.
And you still have the great smile and nothing. It looked like noon to us. So good for you. And we appreciate you doing this. I mean, my
Thank
goodness,
you.
you're amazing. Uh,
Thank you.
this lady is no stranger to the hounds or Kindness Worldwide. She is featured in the documentary film For Such a Time as This, Tracy Ann Palmer. And remember, you can sing your answers if you'd like to, or you can make them by the album. Go ahead, introduce yourself, my friend.
Hey, Mike, so good to see you. So I kind of call myself a modern Renaissance woman because I'm not one thing. I'm many things. I have a lot of passions. But first and foremost, I'm the CEO and founder of Weeble Character. It's a nonprofit where we focus on leadership mentoring programs for aspiring leaders and leaders. And I've been doing that for 16 years. I can't believe it. It's amazing. And we've impacted so many lives. I'm a neuroscience coach, executive coach, and emotional intelligence practitioner. That goes along with the work that I'm doing. And then I'm also a corporate executive. I've been in corporate for 30 years. And along with that, I just recently started my singing career. So I started that at the age of 53. I just say that, ladies, because it's never, ever too late to follow your dreams. So I'm a recording artist and I write all my own songs. And that's actually how Kevin and I met. And it's just lovely to be here with all of you. Thank you for having me.
This is like Angelique. Do you feel like Dr. X of the X-Men? This is Renaissance women. Like, wow, this resume just hit the floor. It's all impactful. Thank you for that. Let's see. Let's go to Kathleen. Me and Kathleen and I just got to meet today, and finally Robin and I. So I am super excited to learn more. Take it away, my friend Kathleen.
Well, hello, friends. I'm so happy to be here today. First and foremost, I'm a mama of 2 adult boys and a wife to Mike Ferris. And I start with that because it's really important that we see the human on the other side before we show up in the communities that we serve as kind ambassadors. I also, in my 9-to-5 job, I have the pleasure of being, Chief Energy Officer. My husband and our board continuously invites me to remember that I am the CEO of our chamber. We have almost 400 members in Claremont, California. And what we do and my service to our business owners and to our community is really to show up for them, to invite them into spaces that they were born to be. And even when they don't feel that they're ready, because when they have clarity and courage and invest in themselves, they can invest in their own team and their communities and add to a functioning society. I'm also an ICF trained coach, International Coaching Federation. So my gift to the world is to show up from a space of kindness and energy, and then also serve my community so I leave spaces better off than when I arrived. So I'm just so happy to be here today. And yes, all of us I just met everybody IRL on Zoom. So just so thrilled to be here with all of you and to be of service. So thank you. And thanks to Kevin, who's the kindest man I know.
Oh, daggum straight. And by the way, doesn't she remind me of Dr. Jamie Norpel? That's the lady who did all the, the behind the scenes, all the compounding, the research to prove that kindness is an actual sustainable model that improves the quality of life, well-being, reduce crime rates, and increase property values. It's not just some nice thing we say. This works. So yeah, shout out. We got to connect them too. That's what I mean. And last but not least, Robin, I have been trying to meet you for a year now. It has happened. I am so thrilled. You're in Australia, so take it away, my friend.
I am indeed, and it's lovely to finally meet you because it has been a long time in the making. And thank you very much for having me on today's session. I'm the Kindness Worldwide Ambassador located in the beautiful Sunshine Coast of Queensland, Australia. So I'm coming to you from your future. I am the founder of Choose Attitude, which specializes in high performance culture design. And In doing that, I help leaders create kinder workplaces, because work is where a lot of us spend a lot of our time, and we are the adults. We're also the ones that are role modeling and teaching the next generation. And I fully believe that if we are teaching our kids role modeling kindness and kindness in action in particular, then they have the power to make generational change, because they've been brought up with these amazing values. I also created the Kind Community Project, which is a place to connect, collaborate, and amplify in kindness in action. And that is a place for anyone who's interested in doing those sorts of things. And this is where Kevin and I first met, and there was a lot of alignment in what his experience has been and what we're doing, and it just made sense. But the other thing I'd just like to say is today I'm wearing a pink shirt. It might be light pink, but it is a pink shirt in support of Pink Shirt Day, which is actually happening in America today, but I kind of feel like a global citizen. So I support bullying prevention any day of the week, any moment of the week, and I really believe that every day we should be doing that together. So thank you very much for having me. I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Yeah, see it, folks. Only kindness could bring this panel together, not DMs and cold emails. All right, I have to say it like a redneck parrot. So I'll tell you what, I'm turning it over. Angelique, now that everybody knows and, we bond together, get down to it. Folks in the comments, again, network, chat, ask questions. We'll do our best to put it on screen and share your experience, right? Get the most out of this, right? This is how organic business gets done naturally without all that, pressure stuff. So Angelique, I am going to, let's put her in the middle. There you go. Okay. And any questions you all like to discuss, go for it. And me and Michael are here to support. And you ladies go.
Well, thank you, my friend, and I'm super excited. And all of you ladies are fabulous. It's so, great to see you. I see some of your names pop up in my LinkedIn feed, but it's nice to actually hear your voice and to hear in your own words. So this is going to be great. I think the first thing I would love to know is, when did kindness shift from something you valued to something you chose to lead with? And again, we could just go right around. You want to start, Lady Jane?
Okay, thank you, Angelique. For me, kindness shifted from just being a value to what I actually now do when I started teaching social skills and etiquette to children. And because I noticed that quite a number of children back then didn't know the basic social skills, just simple things about saying greeting and saying thank you, please, and all that. And I couldn't understand why. So I got involved in doing that, teaching that. And then as I did that, I also realized that some of the children that were being labeled, as not doing well in class, I needed to know why that was happening. And it turned out that some of them could not read, and they couldn't write. So I, again, took it upon myself to learn phonics. And that was what I used in helping these children to decode print and be able to spell and read and write. So that was when kindness became a reality for me.
Wow, that's amazing. And I love, you guys have all mentioned children, and I think that there's something so incredible about that, because it's the future generations that we really need to lift up, and you guys are leading the way. Tracy Ann, how about you?
Oh gosh, this is a big question for me, because early on in my life, I had people that were very kind to me. We'll probably talk more about that a little later, but it just impacted the way I think and the way I naturally just am as a human being. I think I've always been kind, but it was interesting. I had a situation probably about 10 years ago. I was at work and someone said to me, you're too kind. You're too kind. And that just hit me. And I thought a lot about that, and it kept bugging me and worrying me, because I'm like, am I too kind? Like, really? Am I really too kind? What does that even mean? And I remember having this conversation with Kevin thinking, why did someone say that? And it's just what you said, Angelique, it just really resonated with me. It's this difference between nice and kind, right? People just don't know the difference between nice and kind, because just like you, I believe in being firm and fair. You know, it doesn't mean I don't have boundaries. It means that you treat people with respect, with generosity. I feel so blessed in my life to have things that I have that I want to give to others. It's just a natural instinct. But when that happened to me, it really hit home that I truly can make a difference through kindness, because I believe it changes people's lives.
Yes. Yes. And I don't think there's anything that you cannot be too kind, right?
Yes.
There's no scenario where you could be too kind.
Right.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Wow. And I completely relate to that.
Angelique,
Yeah.
your kindness tempered with no nonsense. That's how I phrased it just now. I heard you. I said you're kind, but you're tempered. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm kind, but don't be crossing those boundaries now.
Yeah.
That's the response. Yeah,
You know,
My husband would tell you that that's the way it has to be.
yes,
I love it.
my husband, I'm a little woo and a bit fu. That's how I really, that's my vibe, you know.
Okay, you got 20,000 DMs coming. People are like, yes, let's follow this.
Yeah. So sorry, there it is. Yeah, I totally relate. Kathleen, how about you?
Yeah, when I was just listening to everyone kind of share their answers, I don't know if there's one point in my life that I recognized that I was kind. And for those of you that might be neurodivergent like I am, you know, you really look at how to show up in all the spaces that you're in and taking in information, like you had shared, Tracy Ann, about someone saying you're too kind. I've been told that I'm too kind, too loud, too much, too full. And all I'm trying to do is show up, serve, you know, put the oxygen mask on myself and then serve my community as a whole. And so I probably say maybe when I first started volunteering back in, dating myself a bit, in probably 1987 in private sector, when I volunteered and all of a sudden realized that, oh, all of these humans around me are doing such great work and I wanted to learn. And so I thought, okay, if I volunteer and be of service, I can learn from all of them. So I would say probably in some of those different situations that gave me the agency to kind of like be super curious and recognize that being kind, again, is not being nice. And I love the FU because, yes, I have a construction background. And so, yeah, I would say it's just really seeing others show up how they show up, and then me saying, okay, how do I want to show up for myself and our next generation of leaders and family members? So combination of the and each of these spaces.
Oh, the hounds is wondering why I'm behaving so well. They're like, "Where's Mike's nasty mouth?" And like, so go ahead. This is my radio show. You can't talk because I can't. I don't want to edit it. Here, you just do whatever you want. So I love this combo. Keep it up, my friend.
Yeah. Well, first of all, that you're not too loud. I mean, I think that voice has to be heard across continents because you have a huge message for the world. And I do feel that people will come in and try to dim your light when you have that kind of vibe. And so they say these negative things like, you're too kind, you're too loud, you're too much, to try to knock you out of the park. And that is how you know you are on the right path, and you must be louder and more and kinder. And last but not least, Robin.
Look, I relate to a lot of what the ladies have already said, so I won't reiterate that. But I guess more recently, and I'm talking sort of 5 years ago, 4 years ago, actually a little bit longer than that, 7 years ago, my daughter was being bullied so severely at the age of 5 that I basically took it on myself to research what creates bullying, or how as a society, and I don't just mean in Australia, I mean worldwide, because I did the research globally. You know, how did we come to this point where 5-year-olds are viciously bullying each other? And so I did a really big deep dive into the research, looked at what is actually happening in terms of true prevention, and sadly I couldn't really find much. There's a lot of treatment going on out there, but prevention, that's a different story. And so that's when I dug into the bullying prevention side of things. And, the antidote, it's really quite simple. It is kindness, empathy, compassion. And, what that boils down to for me is just be a good human. And so I guess that really shifted. I decided that if I couldn't find other people doing things to truly prevent the bullying in a way that was really shifting the dial, because at that point, the statistics were still spiraling out of control in the wrong direction. So whatever we were doing wasn't working. And I just went, well, I could just go, oh, well, this is too bad, too hard, too big, all the rest of that. But I just decided, no, I'm going to dig my toes in here and I'm going to do something about this. So that's when I took it on to shift from talking about it to actually doing something about it. And I think from there, the journey has kind of gone into, I can't do this on my own. So I love connecting with all of these people in the Kindness Worldwide group and the whole lot, because there are lots of people out there doing kind things, but we were doing them in our silos. The more we do this together, connect and collaborate together, then we amplify kindness. And so just spinning back to something that you mentioned there, Angelique, we can keep doing more and more and more. And what I believe is that the more we do this in a public manner and amplify it across all sorts of channels, the more people are going to feel comfortable doing it with us. So it's, there's that ripple effect, and that's proven by neuroscience as well.
Wow. And, it's so interesting because bullying, we've dealt with it when we were all younger. I know I did, but we certainly did not have this 24/7 pageant of, online, in your face, consistent. And I feel like the kids are really, they're really having it tough. So, kudos to, you for going out there. And I know you've also done some other things, in the creative space to try and help children, which is really beautiful as well. That seems to be a common theme. And, it's interesting, Mike, if you're cool with this, I'd love to kind of hear their thoughts. But, in a world where it's difficult to be kind, right? Because everything that's coming at us can sometimes bring out sadness, anger, fear, etc. How do you guys individually in your own communities maintain that kindness and compassion, through all of these things that may be coming at you or these negative experiences? What can you offer to people to maintain that kindness vibe? Yeah, anybody.
Thanks. Look, one of the basic human psychological needs is connection and belonging. And I feel like, with social media, yes, we're connected, but we're not actually truly connecting at a really deep level. So, and again, the statistics show that loneliness is spiraling out of control. And even though we are hyper connected. So I believe, and this is why I created the Kind Community Project, is to bring people together in a container that is for positive mental strength building, sharing positive content, sharing kindness, sharing and celebrating kindness, going out and sharing tools that we can actually go and activate in the world. Through lots of different things. And some of them are big, some of them are tiny, some of them are just, self-related. And I do believe that, the more we can come together and share things and collaborate together, the better our communities are going to be. Now, there is an aspect where we need to do that in person as well. So, that could be as simple as just making sure it happens within your family space or your home space. It might be within a church space, or it might be within a community space or a school or a classroom or something like that, where we all have different centers of influence. But at the end of the day, it comes back to us. And I think it's the boundaries, coming back to your question there, Angelique, boundaries, being really strong on what we allow into our brains. And because that does impact how we show up in the world and how we react. And maybe I'm going to put my high performance coach hat on here and say, we need to get stricter on ourselves. And but that's a personal choice. So I encourage people to make the choice to make better choices and be kind to themselves, others, and things.
Oh, yes, because if we're not kind to ourselves first, it's very difficult to be kind to other people. 100%. Yeah. Anybody else want to jump in?
Well, Angelique, you mentioned boundaries, and the interesting thing, I mean, there's studies and there's research, and Robin, you sort of touched on it around the neuroscience. Kindness is not passive, it's not soft. It actually has a neurological impact on our bodies, right? In the same way, so does negative energy and negative things that are going on, right? So for me, it's always about, you've got to give yourself a little bit of grace as you're going through things. And when those negative things come in, you've got to set your boundaries. Additionally, you've also got to replenish your own energy, and that is about, in order to give to others, you can't give to others if you yourself are not replenished, right? Yeah. And so that is also very, very important, that you have to make sure that you are sustaining yourself. And we all have different ways of sort of relieving that through our passions and our community. But I will tell you, when they did the study at Harvard, I think they did it for like 80 years. It said that we are happy when we are with and connecting with others, and I believe kindness heals people.
Yes.
It heals people. And so when I'm faced with all that negativity, my first reaction is sadness for them. I feel pain for them, but then I go straight into kindness mode again, because I feel that I can heal them through kindness, right? It's been proven that we can heal people,
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. And you are spot on. We absolutely can, because we have that ripple effect. When our vibe is high and we are around people, it's like it's infectious. The same way negative energy can be infectious, but on the other side of the polarity spectrum. I love that. Yeah. And something Robin said before, we are connected, but we don't have connection. And I think that's so important, because humans do want to connect in that way. And I do think that kindness is a bridge to that. Anyone else?
Yeah. Yes, I want to, may I just jump in?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. One thing that I have recognized is, fear often makes people to do things that are just unbecoming. Fear. And having known that, and then also known that hurting people sometimes hurt others. So I try to give space for that, knowing that instead of jumping in and feeling very bothered about what maybe somebody has said, some kind of negativity. So I hold back, because I have realized that some of the times people do and say things that are very unkind. But if I react badly to that, then I lose them. So I stay calm. And when I stay calm and still try to be kind, they eventually, turn around, because, they now ask themselves, it's like, why am I being so unkind to somebody who hasn't been unkind to me? So that is an experience that I continue to see in the work that I do. And people come back and then they say something good, or like, okay, I didn't mean what I did. So I'm learning to be calm and learning to understand the other person, where the person is coming from. So, but once there's trust, once people have trust in you and know that you're not going to harm them, and they are not competing with them or trying to pull them under the bus, then they come out nicer. And then also I have family support, which helps me to rejuvenate myself, so that's the little that I can chip in there. Yes.
Oh, that's not a little, honey. That's a lot. And
That's beautiful.
You just laid out the blueprint, because that's 100% how human to human interaction should be, giving people grace, giving people, the moment to show their best self by meeting them with compassion. Again, the very definition of kindness, right? Friendly, generous, and considerate. So, that's incredible. This is sage wisdom that you have shared with us, my friend. You know,
Thank you.
yes, I love that.
Thank
Kathleen, do you have any thoughts that you want to share?
Yeah, I'll just finish off by saying that, we really have to see the human that's in front of us. And when we can see the human and look past everything that's happening in the moment and be curious, we can be kind to ourselves and be kind to the person that's in front of us. A lot of times, we get triggered in the moment by something somebody said. And I usually tell my clients too, or my family members, you're welcome. That's an opportunity for us to heal and go through something that's no longer serving us. So again, I use the word human a lot because I feel like then we can really be present in that moment and show up for them and ourselves and the communities that we serve.
Beautiful. Yeah. I mean, I feel like all of these women are so incredible. I don't even know. I feel like each one of you could have an hour sit down with all the wisdom that you have in the kindness space. I think if Mike, if you're cool, can we just go to this ripple effect?
Absolutely. I am enjoying this. I'm on here. I don't have to do it. You are doing a stellar job, and I love being able to participate and listen to this panel. This is great stuff. And Lady Jane, the only reason I have manners is because my grandmother made sure I had them. She even taught me how to eat chili and crackers the right way. I used to crumble them all up like, Cookie Monster. And she said, no, take a bite of chili and a bite of cracker. So when I can figure out the three forks, the 3 forks and spoon thing, that's my grandmother. Like, how did he know that? No, I didn't Google it. My grandma taught me manners. So I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome. I know that's random, but I mean, that's what I do. That's my trademark. So it's okay. But ladies, go for it. Keep it going. And don't forget the rapid fire round. I can't wait for that one. So you take it away.
Yeah, I think we'll just, and anybody could just jump in on this, but what is one act of kindness that you either did or saw or whatever that created a ripple effect? Something that you saw with your own eyes or felt with your own heart, just by this one act, similar to the way, Kevin got triggered to create kindness worldwide by this one act of kindness. And anybody can jump in.
I'll start. So when I was 20 years old, I actually nearly died from domestic violence. And I had two friends that stepped in and helped me get out of the situation. And I say get out of the situation because when you're in those situations, things are not normal psychologically, right? And it takes a lot of courage to get out, and typically you don't. And they gave me the courage to do it. And they were there with me, helping me through it. And I share that because that has been something that has lived with me my whole entire life. When someone does that for you and your life is saved, I know my life was saved. I would not be here today. I have now spent my whole life giving back for that reason. And in fact, it was Kevin who helped me with his experience. I actually called them after 16 years and thanked them. And they were, in fact, they came from the UK and they were at my first concert. But, when someone does that, that is life-changing, life-altering, and life-saving.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to cry. So I'm going to take a pause for a second because I always cry. But wow, you are, incredible. Yeah. It's not easy to go through pain like that and to come out on the other side. And I think that's a huge thing about the true test of life is, Rocky says how much time you can get knocked down and you keep getting up, right? And that's how winning gets done. So to win the game of life is ultimately not just to get knocked down and keep getting up, but not to lose your kind heart in the process and to continue to be kind and generous and the way you are in spite of it. And I think that's how you win the game of life, and you're winning it. So thank you for sharing that,
Real quick. Absolutely inspiring because you're doing. And number 2, Angelique, did you just quote Rocky? Did somebody give her my playbook?
Yes, every
time okay. Gold star. That's wow.
I quote more movie quotes. I annoy the crap out of everybody. And every now and then when somebody does it to me, I get so excited and I light up. Like, wow. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, no, Tracy, I thank you for sharing that because that inspires a lot of women, a lot of people. And I had, we helped confrontingdv.org. I grew up and saw that as a child. So that was the reason that I had no motive to help that. I just can. And that's kindness. Like, hey, I can do that. I can support that. I can get visibility for that.
Yeah.
And it takes tremendous courage for what you and all the ladies up here in their own way doing what they're doing. And I love to see the comments and the people going, yes, this is what we're about. So there you go. And your song Ripple, we're going to get to that. We're going to make sure y'all don't be shy. Let these folks know. These folks want to know what you do, how to support, dive in. So when we get to that, y'all don't be shy. That hounds will be mad at me if you're shy. Okay. So go ahead and take it away. We got a few more minutes, and then we're going to share a special letter from Kevin himself. And then a kind of interesting, fun spot. We're going to read the letter from Kevin, and then, ladies, we're going to get your feedback. If there's any response, it's your time to share back for Kevin. So, Angelique, floor is yours.
Oh, again, I'm back. Okay. Thank you again, Tracy. Honestly, that was, I'll be thinking about that for the rest of the evening. Is anyone else have an experience with the ripple effect?
Yes, I do actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have the floor, darling.
Okay. So mine is I experienced toxicity at work, and it wasn't just me. I saw others experience bullying, intimidation, and they shared this with me, and it gave me a lot of concern. And I went ahead to develop these conscience cards, and the whole idea of the conscience cards is just to awaken our conscience to the things we do to one another. And I was very, very happy when a school that bought in on these conscience cards called me to say that they were using it as their reflection cards, and that it was helping them a lot. And then the teachers were now becoming more mindful of their actions, towards the children, towards one another. And some of them were even writing it on their phones, so as to remember, because each day they pull out a conscience card and it becomes the theme of how they're going to function for that particular day, things that they're going to reflect on. So this gave me so much joy, to know that people are using it and then becoming more mindful and trying to be kind to one another in their actions. So that for me is a ripple effect that gives me joy. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that, because I feel like so many of us deal with that, right? The toxicity in the workplace. And, to varying degrees, but sometimes they can be chased out of their business or job because of people being unkind and mean. I love the idea of conscious cards. That's really cool and interesting. You have a lot of really interesting tools, which are so cool because people need tools in order to execute these things sometimes because they don't know how to do it. So unbelievable. Ladies, I would love if we could go into this little rapid fire now, if that's cool with you, Mike. So
yes,
okay. You guys are going to finish the sentence. When women lead with kindness, what happens? Speak from the heart.
Trust becomes the strategy.
Yes. Beautiful.
Wait a minute. I got to get my pencil. I got to write this down. Yes, I have a replay button, but I won't find it. Hang on. Keep going. Go ahead.
Trust becomes the strategy. That's great, Kathleen.
Beautiful.
Whoever.
I'll say when women lead with kindness at work, because of this audience that we're in front of today. So if you're a leader or a business owner, it shows what's possible and it changes the workplace, the people within it, their homes, their communities, and it can change the world.
Beautiful. Yes.
Okay, so when women lead with kindness, people are seen, they feel seen, valued, and safe to grow.
Oh, I love that. Yes. Tracy?
When women lead with kindness, communities are changed through the power that women have in the community.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I love it.
Beautiful answers. And I'm going to turn it around on Man Cave here, Michael Binko. So, Michael, hey, when women lead with kindness, this happens. Here's the effect.
I mean, first off, I just feel like I'm absorbing 5 master classes right now, like just flowing over me. And, I'll say it this way: when women lead with kindness, it feels like home. Because with men, it's often, their kindness can be conditional more often than not, right? We hate to admit it, but it's true. There's a competitive aspect to the masculine, perspective on life and engagement. But we all have had a relationship with a woman. Obviously, we wouldn't be here. And I think that is a grounding effect that humanity should return to.
Yes. Yes.
See why I'm not afraid to call him out? This man always speaks from the heart and is so eloquent.
That's a great question too. Yeah.
Mike said it better than me. I was trying to say that, but Mike said it better. That's awesome.
I was just going to point to you all. Yeah.
Can I answer that one too?
Yes, ma'am. I was about to ask you, how'd you know? You're such a pro. Go for
I
it.
knew. I was like, okay. Mine is going to be cheesy, but this is how I truly feel. That when women lead with kindness, love can finally rule the world.
Yes. Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't ask me, I'm going to get mad.
All right, Mike, hey, come on, man.
No, I've actually got a good one. I'm like, hey.
Here you go. We want to hear yours, Mike. Tell us.
Humanity becomes the norm in life and business.
Yes.
It doesn't mean you can't have ideology and stuff, but that's our way in the hounds. We like to lead with humanity. That's what unifies us when everything seems to try to divide us. And it's a choice, right, Tracy Ann? I mean, your whole song and life and everything, all you ladies. So we're a good company. This is so amazing. And Angelique, you are doing like spot on. Maybe I can convince you in April just to do it every Wednesday. We'll work on that. But seriously, you all have just nailed it because you're all heart and you just do. That's what people want to know. So
yeah.
Anybody, I tell you what, we have a special letter from Kevin. And I want to read that and get the responses. Before I do, though, I want to make sure we give you ladies the platform. About 30 seconds each. We'll go around. We'll start with Kathleen. What are you working on? What do you want the folks to know? And how can they connect with you to learn more, follow you, and plug into whatever you have? And if folks, if you're not interested, you know people who are. So share, tag folks and whatever they're doing and bring the support to these amazing women. Go ahead, Kathleen.
Well, my whole goal is to set the next generation up for success. So really pouring into the next gen and providing space for them to be able to lean in and lead from a space of wholeness. So seeing them. And you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm always happy to have conversations outside of the space. Thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. All right. April, just go ahead and put them up there one at a time. I appreciate it. She's afraid I'm going to fight for the button. That's how I do. She does her thing, and I'm over here like the Muppet babies just pushing buttons. Who else would like to go? Tracy Ann, you are not shy. Would you like to go?
Sure, yeah. So I'm releasing my album right now, and I would certainly welcome everyone to give me feedback on the songs. They are written from the heart. They are very raw and very real. So that's something that's important to me. And I'm writing my songs for my second album right now. And I just want to share that with all of you. So you can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can also connect with me on YouTube, Tap the Warrior, and Instagram, Tap the Warrior. And then I'm also on Facebook as well, Tap Music. And my songs are on Spotify, Apple, and all the different stations.
Wonderful. And Kevin played it how many times, Michael? About, I don't know, 4 times on the way to Podfest?
Unlimited. I mean, that opening piano riff is just like it. You know it's coming in full measure right after that, Tracy Ann. So thank you.
Yeah, he played it for Zach Demopoulos and everybody. We were just it was a repeat. You didn't even know that. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, now you know. Thank you for the song. Everybody loved it. And Robin, it is your turn, my friend.
Thank you. So I'm working on a few different things, but one I'd really like to call out, especially because of the audience and we're here on LinkedIn, is in April, you can actually experience a kind collaboration with me and a bunch of other kindness leaders from around the world. And so to learn more about that, you can either connect with me on LinkedIn and I'll shoot you the link to get into the Kind Community Project, which is free, by the way, and it's open to everyone. And we will be announcing the next steps very, very shortly. But there's a massive global kindness, connected kindness activation happening in April, and we are planning that right now if you want to be involved.
Wonderful. But see, I love this room. I said, don't be shy. And none of them, because you should be. You do amazing work and folks want to plug in. This is what it's about. And Robin, you did great. Angelique.
Angelique. This is the part I hate.
Oh, Lady Jane, see what happened. Everybody make musical chairs. I was gonna, Lady Jane, you are a warrior. It's 2:01 a.m. So please tell the folks how to support you, because I'm going to follow you. Go ahead.
Right. So we're working in the community with community leaders on our humane leadership and ethical governance program. And so we're starting with the foundations of civility and then civic responsibility. So those are the things that we're supporting them. And we're starting this on the 7th of March in Enugu, which is in the southeast of Nigeria. So we will have the royal fathers and the various community leaders and youth leaders attending that roundtable meeting. So you can also connect with me on LinkedIn. And I'm also on Facebook and on Instagram, to see the things that we're doing. We developed 2 toolkits, the Humanity and Refinement Toolkit, which is for leaders, and then the Good Manners Toolkit for children. So that's what we're doing in the community, working with those leaders and then the children afterwards.
Wow. Absolutely amazing. And wow. Okay. So Angelique, since you were such a gracious host, amazing host, give her a round of applause. I don't care if it's corny. It's the hound. Yay. This is how we do soundboard. Angelique. Yay. So I can make a movie on the Etch a Sketch if you'd like to see that later too. You're welcome. That's how I did my first live stream, from an Etch a Sketch from a deer stand. I'm not making it up. So go ahead, my friend. Take us away.
Okay, so you can connect with me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, Instagram, Substack. The next thing up for me is I have a book, Keep Shining, Essays of Empowerment and Self-Mastery, that is for sale, pre-order in a couple of weeks. Sci-fi fantasy series, Blackout, that's coming out at the end of the year. And a couple of other cool film projects that I can't talk about yet, but they're out there. And of course, my podcast called Cut with Angelique. You could connect with me through there. That's on YouTube. And it streams everywhere you get your podcasts. So would love to connect with whomever. And yeah, and ladies, I'd love to have you guys all on my podcast too. And Mike, I'd love to have you.
Spoiler alert. I've been writing, I'm the redneck connector. So I have been writing like Santa Claus list of who to connect, and my hand hurts. See the smoke coming off that? Y'all crazy hand? Woo! So my goodness, we're just getting started. So folks, don't forget, I'll put it in the bottom. Go to kindnessworldwide.com. Find out more about .org. I saw Michael's face. I got you, buddy. kindnessworldwide.org. And they're good looking out. And go check out the ambassadors. Check out the documentary, the film. Be a part of it. It's low lift, high visibility impact, folks. Right? Sharing a post, doing big little things go a long way. And so I tell you what, I want to bring her up. Hopefully she read the private chat. April Wyatt, she's been in the background helping with this and everything else. Kindness Worldwide, all the good stuff. And so when I read Kevin's letter, I'm just going to give everybody the floor. If you'd like to chime back in and share your thoughts or say something back, go ahead. If not, we will just end on that and run the intro video. But Kevin loves to be everywhere, and he just can't. He's just one man, and as this movement pushes out, now he's got folks like us, leaders like Michael Binko, Angelique stepping to the plate, and you ladies stay until 2 a.m. right on a Wednesday. He is not alone, and I want to make sure that he sees this, right? Hey, Kevin, what you did from a thought and a good gesture, look what's happening, man. Inspiration, right? Folks who need help are seeking help. They're being inspired by all these stories. It is absolutely heart-wrenching, and it is absolutely impactful. And if you're in business, spoiler alert, it's profitable. So there's no loss here. Kindness for the win, right, ladies? So let's bring on April. Now, I gave her warning. I gave her a couple warnings. How are you? She ran the backstage, ladies. She did a brilliant job. Thank you so much, April.
Oh, it's my pleasure. This has been so much fun. Oh my gosh, did you see all the comments coming in? People are just really enjoying this conversation. So thank you, everyone. I call it contributing to the stone soup of collective consciousness. We are expanding here today, right now. So thank you. And don't cry, Mike. It's okay.
Part of it's fever. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of onions in this room today. Listen, I'm just going to say it. Michael backed me up. All right. Men, you can cry. Now, we don't cry over dumb stuff like spilt milk. I don't think that's cool. But when something's impactful and heart-wrenching, go for it. And if you can't find those men, hey, shameless plug, Hounds of Business. You'll find all kinds of them. Hollywood stuntmen, Army, hey, you got it. So let's read this letter if I can get my fever brain to focus. Ladies, chime in, and we will close out. And just know, thank you. Thank you so much for an amazing kickoff to kindness, our Women's Month. This is epic. And folks, don't forget to go to my LinkedIn. You can go straight to it on the featured section. There you go. Mike Asherbrander or Redneck1 on LinkedIn. We'll put it in the comments on YouTube. Sign up, share it, have a blast, right? Elevate everything, including your business, the organic way. So now, let me read this. So Kevin, nobody writes like Kevin, y'all. So amazing. The journey of kindness worldwide began innocently enough with a mere desire to say thank you in a more meaningful way. It then magically evolved into a means to make a meaningful difference. So it's only natural for me to want to thank you in a more meaningful way also. Yet no matter how meaningful I wish my words to be, I know I'll fall far short in expressing the meaningful distance each of you are making. I'll fall shorter still in expressing how meaningful each of you are to me. Your encouragement and support has meant the world to me. You saw the potential of this movement early on when most did not, and you believed in me at times I often was tempted to throw in the towel. Whenever my tank was nearing empty, you kept refilling it in ways you likely never knew. You are such an inspiration to me. I admire your principle-centered leadership, your quiet strength, and your ability and your courage to boldly take on the world by standing up, standing tall, and standing out at a time our world needs it the most. You are making a difference. Our world and my world is better because of you. We proudly celebrate you tonight as leading voices and shining faces of kindness worldwide. I commend you for all the wonderful things you are doing in your communities and for the world at large. Kevin Smith, Chief Kindness Chaser of Kindness Worldwide. That was his personal letter to you ladies.
Yeah.
Floor is yours. And yeah.
I'll jump in. It reminds us that we don't lead alone and that we are definitely better off together.
Yeah.
And Kevin, we love you.
Yes.
Yes.
Why isn't he on Hallmark?
I can never do it as well as he does. I practice all the time. It's because I don't have cool guitars behind me. That's why I can't do the part like Kevin's.
I could say, Kevin, they say that one person can't make a difference, but you have proven that that's not true.
Yes.
And so we are all lucky and much better for knowing you, and that you had the courage to follow your heart. And you are the originator of the heart-led entrepreneur. So thank you.
And I'll say, Kevin, there's no need to thank us. I think we're all together, as Kathleen said, better together. And I feel like together we can definitely change the world. So thank you for what you've done to bring people together.
Yes, thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Kevin. We're in this together. We're in this together. We support one another. And there's a saying in my place, you can't clap with one hand. So we're in this together, clapping all together. Yeah.
Yes, and just look at the screen and everybody who's chimed in here this evening. It wouldn't have happened without you, Kevin.
And there's a saying in Africa, Lady Jane, maybe you know it, it's called Ubuntu, which is I am because we are.
Yeah.
That's Kevin. That's all of us.
Oh, I hope he's blushing when he sees that. I hope he turns into a tomato, y'all, because it's not flattering. He's such a humble guy, and dadgummit. So anybody, did I miss anyone? Anybody? Michael, if you like to chime in, April, it's floor is yours. You don't have to. I just want to make sure I don't cut anybody off.
I just know that Kevin has poured his soul into this opportunity to kind of turn humanity in a different direction, and it's often a challenge for him and him. The womanity in all of our lives. Is helping take this forward. So Annis is tether. Kevin, as he says, is the kite able to soar beyond the clouds. And all of you are sunshine in our skies. So thank you for bringing this opportunity to share with your communities. For those of you who might be interested, we are now trying to formalize some of the programming and initiatives that we've absorbed from a lot of folks to bring to communities. So, when Mike says to reach out to kindnessworldwide.org, playbooks and capabilities are on the site as well. And I got a hound of business here barking in the background, so I'm going to go on mute, Mike.
Yeah, we're the hounds. We can't get mad. It's kind of partial. And again, I'll give my shout out to Kevin, and we'll close with that. But ladies, Angelique, you were a phenomenal host. Thank you so much, my friend. You open invitation.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Mike. Honestly, it's been an honor. You're fabulous. Thank you.
April Wyatt, you are running the show, so I'm not looking like the opposite way. Thank you so much, and thank you for all the hard work behind this week as well as upcoming Women's Month. For folks, shameless plug, do not miss this. DM me, go to LinkedIn, go to the comments after the show, plug in, right? There's nothing wrong with you. You just need people, resources, support. Right. There's so many of you out there that have what it takes to make an impact in this world. That's why we exist. You just need a safe, trust first place to do it in. Welcome to the Hounds and our partnerships. Yes. And Lachelle Atkins. Oh my goodness. That's America's Supermom. So, and yeah, she has 15 kids, y'all, in Atlanta. That's not a moniker. That's true. So this lady she's leading up with April Wyatt, the joint venture. She's going to host the party. And this lady knows how to host a celebration, a professional celebration. You don't want to miss it. Go ahead, April.
Yes, it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to highlight everybody that's going to be on this panel over the next 3 weeks, including you ladies. If you want to still stay up, Jane, we'd love to have you. But it's going to be amazing. So it's just an honor to work side by side with Lachelle. She's just an incredible soul, and I think everybody needs to know her. So yes, come join us for the celebration event on March 26th. And we're going to have it more interactive, and it's going to be a lot of fun and engaging. So I hope to see you all there.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to let everybody go. Y'all have been amazing. Before I do, I want to respond. I'm going to turn Kevin's letter back on Kevin here, because something stuck out as I read that. And I didn't read it before. I wanted to read it real time. And something that stuck out to me about you ladies, and he wrote this specifically to you. And he said you saw the potential early on when a lot of folks didn't. He referenced filling the tank when he was ready to close. Well, Kevin, you've been that for me, brother. You had no idea, right? We're all human. We all go through it. And, we're ready to give up sometimes. It's human. And we got to quit acting like it's some terrible thing to say. no, people shouldn't lean out from you. Well, what if they think you're weak? Well, let them think it, because this panel, that's strength, not weakness. Am I wrong? So, Kevin, you were that guy for me, and you had no idea. So I want to publicly surprise you back, say thank you, and look, because of that, look at the ripple effect. There you go. Shout out to Tracy Hand, right, Palmer, and that ripple effect continues. And this is the reason that we're doing this, ladies. You nailed it. And Women's Month, all are welcome. All right, come as yourself, leave as your better self. That's it. All we're doing is leveling up together. So. That's it. No more PBS special. Michael Binko, you are the man. That old song, behind every strong man's a strong woman, but we flipped the script on that, didn't we? So these strong men like Michael Binko and Kevin and I, hey, we got you as well. So it's a mutual thing. Love you, ladies. Appreciate your time. Hey, catch us on the next one. Stellar show. Women in leadership. You don't want to miss this. All right. We're going to keep them coming. Heart-centered, as high level as you can find. So, folks, love you to death. Go to kindnessworldwide.org. I got it right this time. And I will go rest. I will get my fever gone before I come back on Wednesday. But you all made me forget I was sick. That's how powerful this is.
Electrolytes, Mike. Thank you all so much. This was such a wonderful masterclass.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Mike. Feel better.
Nice to see you all. Bye.
See you soon.
Thank
Be
you.
well.
Bye.
Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.